Hi, so in this video we're going to be looking at the binomial expansion using a Pascal's triangle. So binomial expansion, what is it? Well, it's a two-part expansion because you have a bi, which means two numbers, so you've got two things in a bracket, and you're expanding, that means you're multiplying out the brackets. But I want to do it without doing all the hard work, because actually as you get higher powers, it takes a lot of work to expand, like 2 plus x to the power of 7. That's 2 plus x times 2 plus x times 2 plus x, so forth, 7 times. So what we're trying to do is find an easier way of doing it. Now, we're going to do it using Pascal's triangle, and you've seen Pascal's triangle before. Basically, you get the number below from the two numbers above, so it will come from the 4 plus 6, or the 6 comes from 3 plus 3, the 2 comes from the 1 plus 1, and the ones at the edge, you imagine there's a 0 next to it. Now, the way I do this expansion is you have to be very systematic. I'm going to expand a plus b to the power of 7. Now, I actually do it like this, where I write sets of terms separately. So I start with a to the power of 7, because that will come out of this expansion. And then you work down the powers of a to the power of 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. And actually, when it's a to the power of 0, it's 1, and I wouldn't necessarily write that in, but I just want you to see what I'm doing. Then I go to the powers of b, and this time I start at my b to the power of 0, which would be 1. Then b to the power of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now I've got my A's and B's in. I then go to the triangle. I decide which line I'm going to use. And actually, Pascal's triangle, if you count the lines starting at 0, you'll get the right one. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this is going to give me the coefficients to the power of 7. The first one, when you have the line which is 0, if I have a plus b to the power of 0, the answer is 1, so the coefficient would be 1. Okay, so then I put my coefficients in. I've got 1, and they go in the same order: 7, 21, 35. And when I get halfway, it's symmetrical, so once I've counted up, I can then count down the same way. So it gives me 35, 21, 7, and 1. And then I've got the expansion. That's the expansion of a plus b to the power of 7. Okay, so what if I was given a question? So here's a question: expand 2 minus 3x all to the power of 4. Now, when you start doing this, I would write out the expansion of a plus b to the power of 4. As you get better at doing this and more practice, you won't need to do that. But for now, just do it, and then you can substitute your a and your b's in, and you will get the right answer. This is not such a hard topic, but it's a very, very easy topic to make a mistake in. So you have to be really slow and systematic. And I know lots of people don't like being slow and systematic, but until you get more practice at this, I suggest doing it that way. So what is the expansion of a plus b to the power of 4? So I start with my a, I put it to the power of 4, then to 3, then to 2, 1, and a to the power of 0 is 1, so I've got nothing written there. And then I do my b powers. I start with b to the power of 0, which is 1, so I can leave it out. B to the power of 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I go and find my coefficients. Now I'm looking at the power of 4, so I start with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, so it'll be this line here. So this goes 1, 4, 6, 4, 1. So I've got 1, 4, 6, 4, 1. Okay, so I've got my expansion. I don't need the ones, obviously, because anything times by 1 is just the thing. So then I look at this and say, what's my a and what's my b? So my a is obviously 2, and my b is minus 3x. And every time I see an a, I'm going to put a in, obviously. And every time I put b in, I'm going to put minus 3x. And I do recommend using the bracket method so you can really see that you're getting the right thing in the right place. So a to the power of 4 will give me 2 to the power of 4 times a cubed, 2 cubed, times b, which is minus 3x, then plus 6, a squared, 2 squared, times b squared minus 3x squared plus 4 times a, which is 4 times 2 times b cubed minus 3x cubed plus minus 3x all to the power of 4. Now you can actually use your calculator to get each of these terms. I do still recommend you write it out because there's lots of marks for these, and you go straight to this one and you've bodged it somewhere, you know, you lose lots of marks, and you've got the time to do it, so just write them out carefully. The thing most people go wrong with are the signs, and it's quite easy actually to go wrong with the signs, especially, you know, as the things get more complicated. Do remember, when you put something like this in your calculator, you must put the bracket around all of it, or it just squares the x squared. So when you put bracket around all of it, it squares the minus 3 and it squares the x. Okay, so put in your calculator term by term, and you get something which looks like this. And you would expect this to go up in powers of x. So, you know, we have x to the 0, x to the 1, x squared, x cubed, x to the 4. Okay, I hope that's helpful. These things just need a little bit of practice. They're not impossible, but they do need a little bit of practice. Okay, bye.